Hey, Gabriel here with the Icon Capture Jeep Intelligence Brief for August 14th, 2026. All right, grant and research portfolio managers, we need to talk because this is one of those boards where if you only look at the opportunity count, you are going to misread the market. Here's what I want to do with you today. I want to walk through the new opportunity flow, the legislative and executive movement, the regulatory and court signals, and then bottom line what this means if you're actually managing a portfolio right now and trying to decide where to lean in, where to stay patient, and where you may be kidding yourself. Before we start, this is the last brief before this terrain window narrows. 0 seats left in the GPS displacement window review. 0 opportunities. Competitive displacement windows this week. That signal is what opened this session, and it will not repeat the same way tomorrow. The question is no longer what you could chase. It is what is still reachable before this window closes and what needs to start now for the 12 to 18-month board. Code GPS 533 at the-icon.ai capture. Now, let's read the board. So let's get right to the facts. Over the last 168 hours, GPS surfaced. 0 new opportunities posted on SAM.gov, 0 federal hiring signals across 0 agencies. And all of that is happening while market BCL is 0%, with 0 agencies stalled under the continuing resolution. When we examine opportunity flow over the past 168 hours, the data tells an intriguing story. At first glance, 0 opportunities and legislative activity might suggest a stagnant environment. Yet, this isn't just about the absence of new postings. It's about understanding the equilibrium between accessibility and raw volume. On the capture ticker, we see no spikes, but the absence of activity itself is a potent signal. The Board of Contracting and Licensing percentage remains at a standstill, which typically raises questions about how agencies are recalibrating their requirements. For managers who read this tape, the flatline isn't a deterrent, but a moment to recalibrate strategies. It points to a hidden value in maintaining readiness for when the floodgates do open. It's about being first to the table when the next cycle of postings inevitably picks up. With no discernible CR, continuing resolution, drag mentioned, this suggests that while the legislative gears aren't turning visibly, back-channel conversations might be shaping the scene. The accessibility of these opportunities, once they appear, could be streamlined, favoring those who are prepared and poised to act quickly. Here lies the advantage. Understanding the rhythm of these pauses lets you strategize beyond the immediate silence. Secondary signals, such as terrain holes and the lack of hiring spread, offer a nuanced picture. The absence of terrain holes implies a uniform landscape with fewer surprises, which can be a double-edged sword. On one hand, it means fewer disruptions. On the other, it indicates a lack of new initiatives or shifts in strategic focus. This stability might lull some into complacency, but it's precisely here where market mispricing can occur. With no new court opinions or lobbying clusters emerging, the static nature of these signals suggests a market waiting for a catalyst. For grant and research portfolio managers, this translates into a ripe moment for exploring under-the-radar opportunities. When traditional signals are quiet, it's the less scrutinized niches where smart portfolio moves can be crafted. The absence of hiring shifts across agencies might signal either a temporary freeze or a strategic pivot internally. If you manage this grant book, now's the time to dig deeper into agency reports and internal memos that might hint at upcoming changes. The capture terminal can be invaluable here, offering insights that go beyond public postings and into the strategic directions agencies are quietly aligning themselves with. In a quiet market, the whispers of change are where the future is written. The current market is a policy-driven landscape where legislative and executive decisions are significantly reshaping funding opportunities and demand conditions. Are you aligning your submission strategies with the latest policy shifts? How are you mitigating the risks of stalled approvals or zero opportunity scenarios? Is your portfolio agile enough to pivot in response to rapid legislative changes? Conviction, a proactive, policy-aware approach, is essential to navigate the evolving funding climate and secure the necessary resources for impactful research. Last thing before I sign off, and I want to be direct. 0 seats left in the GPS Displacement Window review. When this window closes, the terrain that justified it moves on. Tomorrow's signal will be different. The next session will read a different board. If the brief we just walked through gave you a reason to act, now is the time. Code GPS33. communities.theicon.ai/capture/the-govcon-elite. 0.0 million records, 4 verticals ready, provenance traced from bill to award. Like and subscribe if you're managing a federal grant, research, GovCon, or commercial portfolio. I drop a new GPS brief every weekday. All links, terminal preview, Shipley sessions, live cohort calendar, and the full brief are at communities.theicon.ai/capture/the-govcon-elite. Register free and it's all there. This is Gabriel. I'll see you tomorrow. You will be disconnected in 5 seconds due to